Good evening, everyone. Thank you for your patience with us. I'm calling to order the June 26th Board of Directors meeting. We're very pleased to see you here. Thank you for coming out and joining us this evening. It'll be in order to call the roll. June, will you please call the roll?
Ms. Manser?
Yes.
Mr. Abarca?
Present.
Ms. Cortez?
Yes.
Mr. Hogan?
Yes.
Dr. Jones? Mr. Wasserstrom?
Here.
Ms. Wolfsey?
Here.
Thank you.
It is now in order to receive a motion for acceptance of the agenda as presented.
So moved.
Second. Will the secretary call the roll?
Looking on my computer. Ms. Manser?
Yes.
Mr. Abarca?
Yes.
Ms. Cortez?
Yes.
Mr. Hogan?
Yes.
Dr. Jones?
Yes.
Mr. Wasserstrom?
Yes.
Ms. Wolfsey?
Thank you. We have 4 individuals this evening who have indicated they wish to address the board. Public comments are limited to 3 minutes per speaker. The chair now recognizes DeMonte Rochester from the District Advisory Committee.
Good evening, Dr. Bedell, members of the board. The DAC board has just started our committee meetings. This past Saturday, we had hosted our first committee meetings. The committee meetings went very well. Also, DAC will sponsor our annual summer retreat on July 20th. Anybody from the board is welcome to attend. It's going to be at the downtown library from 12 to 5. And then we're now in the process of planning our upcoming year schedule. And then lastly, we're waiting. I know you guys probably voted or are in the process of voting on trying to see when we will have our board liaison join our board, as well as our committee people ready to go, so we can know when the new board will start holding their board meetings, committee meetings, so that we may be able to appoint someone from the DAC to join the committee meetings as well. Thank you for your time.
Rochester, and the board did earlier this evening approve committee assignments, and Dr. Marvia Jones will be the board's liaison to the District Advisory Committee. The chair now invites Tom Love to come to the podium to speak about 4-year-old August birthday children entering kindergarten per Missouri state law.
Good evening. I'd like to begin by thanking the board and the administration for implementing the K through 2nd grade Title I reading labs. Really excited about that, and I think that will go a long ways to helping the 333 fourth graders we had entering the school district this year reading at first grade reading level. I'm relatively confident they had dyslexia, and that 20% of the population now is going to receive help. They represent, at least in one Texas prison, 49% of the inmate population. So that's really a great thing to get that fixed. Now I'd like to ask the board to look at another law in Missouri that requires August birthday children entering at kindergarten at 4 years old to successfully complete kindergarten. So I think, I'm guessing, based on another sunshine request I did a number of years ago that was linked to first grade students, we had 30% of our first graders, about 470 of them, that were promoted to 2nd grade reading at a kindergarten level or below. They just simply weren't ready, and this law that Missouri has is put in place to potentially help children get 2 years of kindergarten if they need it. Unfortunately, I'm relatively sure, I haven't done the sunshine request, but I would guess that we're probably promoting all of them because we have a 99% plus promotion rate. This 30%, out of this a population of 1,581 first graders, it was over 99% were promoted. So there's not a board policy So we desperately need a policy that would identify who's ready at the earliest point, that's in kindergarten, who's ready to enter first grade successfully. We have the state funds, federal funds, local dollars, all set in place to implement the program. We just need the board to make a policy. It's pretty simple. But we could also go further. This is right. I'm not sure. My grammar's not that great. But we could go ahead and allow that to happen for all summer birthday children, May, June, July, August, and they can still graduate at 18 with their peers. Why not have them ready? Why not have them successful? What's it cost if we don't do that? A lot. It really has a major impact. I talked to a guy today that was put in as an October birthday child. It's not a good thing to fail when you start off in school, fail for several years and struggle. Even in third grade, they identify summer birthday children as having a difficulty with math when we start multiplication and division. So if you would, I'd appreciate you doing that. This community cannot afford to hold children out of kindergarten like wealthier parents can at a cost of $500 a month or more. And we can do it.
Thank you, Mr.
Thank you.
Love. The board now calls Mr. Douglas Bolden to the podium. Welcome, Mr. Bolden.
Good evening,
Good evening.
Madam Chair and all the distinguished board members. Good evening. Dr. Bedell and all the leadership cabinet members. Good evening to you as well as the audience. My name is Doug Bolden. I'm the extremely proud principal of Northeast High School, with at least for the next 48 hours anyway. My purpose here tonight is only one. I just come to thank you. Thank you and to allow me to come and work in such an exciting, progressive, innovative district. You have been nothing but supportive. You've been nothing but kind. And I cannot say enough great things about this board as well as my superintendent. And again, I just want to express as best as I can. I'm a fairly intelligent man. And even now, I'm struggling to articulate how much you have meant to me over the last 6 years. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. And if you know me more than a minute, I don't say things unless I mean it. So I would just want to thank you again so much for your support and encouragement. But before I go, I'll be less than a husband. I'm going to introduce my wife. Come on. Dr. Bedell and Madam Chair, I know that you guys think you're my real bosses, but this beautiful woman here, I met her when I was 17, and we've been together ever since. She's given me 3 great children, a beautiful granddaughter that is too much like her, as a matter of fact. But that's a good thing. So I just wanted you to know more than just me. I want you to also get to know my wife as well, because she has been nothing but a counselor. She's been my psychiatrist. She's been my cheerleader. And yes, she has been my biggest critic. But I want you to know that without her, I don't know where I would be in this world. So I just want to thank you for being with me.
Thank you so much.
You know what they say. You don't want to eat and run, but I am going to speak and run. We're on our way to Vacation Bible School, and we're a little bit late, but that's okay. Before I go there was a young man up there, and he was doing like this. Remember that? He reflects how I feel. So when you're up there, is my man. So when you see it from there on, that's me doing just like this to you and all of you. Thank you so much for being so gracious.
Thank you, Mr. Bolden. Thank you. Mr. Bolden, before you leave, given that you have that expansive wardrobe of purple attire that I've seen over these many years,
Yes, ma'am.
you know, there's always a place for you back at Northeast, and come back and see us, and don't be a stranger.
Well, as my alumni told me, once a Viking, always a Viking. And boy, will they tell them the truth. Vikings will always have my support, and yes, I will be visiting basketball, football games, anything that's going on there. And I always say, I'm so glad you stopped me. Dr. Davis, he was a little bit responsible for me coming into the district. He came in, when I came in, my hair was coal black. So I want to thank you, Dr. Davis, for these, as they say, wisdom hairs that you've given me. Thank you so much.
Thank you. The chair now recognizes Philip Jamison, National Endowment for the Arts, Our Town Creative Grants Program. Welcome.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, my name is Phil Jamison. I'm with Jamison Associates. I'm a grant writer. Pardon me. My name is Phil Jamison. I'm a grant writer with Jamison Associates.
I'm Louis Anderson.
And we're here today to ask the support of the board. We have an opportunity to develop a grant with the National Education for the fall of 2020. The proposal is entitled Our Town. It's for this particular year, it's their 10th anniversary. One of the stipulations for this particular proposal is that the highest ranking individual from the city must sign off of it. We had a conversation with the city, and we have discovered that they will be recommended two organizations. That particular situation would occur, or I should say their letter of intent deadline is next Friday, which will be July the 5th. Where we're looking at is being able to identify someone within the district that would be what connect us with someone within your arts department that would be interested in working with us to seeing about making this particular situation occur. One of the items in the proposal that we were looking at was being able to have the students from the district be able to participate in one of the performances. And Mr. Anderson will give you some more information about the group that we are planning to bring into Kansas City.
Thank you for this opportunity. My name is Louis Anderson, and as Mr. Jamison said, that we want was your support to try to get as many of the students to attend these performances as possible. We want to improve the lives of the current and next generation of youth, to have the programs like this and using tools like this of art to get the learning and work in the neighborhoods. This musical can help Kansas City youth become leaders and change agents in the neighborhood and wider community. And how do you ask? Well, it's easier to learn more when they're connected with their own learning. Sight, sound, emotions, and feelings of excitement, love of all is involved in that learning experience. This particular experience is learning about the enslaved people who, in this case, is Henry Box Brown. Henry Box Brown, if you don't know, was a slave who decided to mail himself to freedom. And with the help of abolitionists, he did that. And so how would this help the young people? Well, it helps the young people to learn about the strengths and skills and tenacity that happen in this group of people and how they can take that and then apply that knowledge in this space to do work on their own and to develop their own skills and capacities and to work in the community to improve it. So that's the purpose of the use of the arts to help with the education process.
Thank you very much, Mr. Anderson. We have 3 minutes, and we appreciate that, and I see that you've left materials for the board to review. Is that correct?
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
For the presentation of this evening's revenue and expenditure report, the chair recognizes Board Treasurer Manny Abarca.
Thank you, Madam Chair. First, let me thank Ms. Quinley and her team for preparing myself as well as the entire budget process with such small time frame. So as we go into this very quickly, we wanted to make sure that there was a note that with only 1 month to go, we are closing in on an actual number here, but it's important for everyone to remember that we are on an accrual versus cash basis accounting. So the last slide is going to make much more sense for those who are not as budget savvy in terms of where we're at in terms of our revenue. So local revenues are tracking to budget and are $4 million ahead of last year at this time. And to the right hand, you'll see some of these notes don't necessarily change. They're just consistent there, so that you can review some of the reasons as to why we're in these positions. For the county revenues, we are trending ahead of last year due to increased state assessed railroad and utility revenues, but are behind as we don't receive that until a one-time payment in August. So keep that in mind. It looks like, and I'm sure that Linda will remind us, that we're going to receive around $1.5 million that will be put back into the budget from this specific line item here. State revenue, the line is behind last year's trend and budget at this point, but in the month of June, we have received a variety of state aid totaling $1.5 million. Additionally, a major portion of the budget line is from reimbursements for early childhood special education reimbursements. We expect to receive $3 million in this to bring us close to the total state budget. Federal revenues, several of these lines will increase as the year closes and we submit a final report. For Title, Special Education, Child Nutrition Services, and Head Start, these revenues will be accrued as due to us as of June 30th. For the expenditures page, we're on target overall. As you can see, some of these line items, except for in the area of administration. And as we all kind of explored this area, we realized that we had some hangover issues that were previous to our wonderful general counsel now that we are finally resolving. And so because of that specific situation, we're resolving all those now to get us caught up. And Bill has assured us, both in cabinet as well as me personally, that this is something that they're going to take back and look as to how we can proactively prevent these situations. So I don't think we can necessarily credit this specifically to Bill or his team at this point in time. We're just getting caught up as to where we're at. So with those updates, again, same pie chart that you're seeing here as to how we expend our money. The next one is the line graph that shows us how our revenues are meeting our expenditures here. And I think it's important to note that that little blue line is a little ahead of where the red line is right now. So I think we're doing okay. Any further questions I am open to. Otherwise, I yield it back to the chair.
Are there any questions of the board? Okay. Thank you, Mr. Barca. The next item of business is the report of the superintendent. The chair recognizes our superintendent, Dr. Bedell.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And yeah, Mr. Abarca, I would say this is probably like your third time doing this, and wow, I mean, the growth is immaculate. So great job of coaching Ms. Quinley. But I had to give him some credit because he's just sounding so much smoother with it, so good job. I want to go ahead and start off. Before we do the superintendent's video, Mr. Bolden left, and I was hoping that he would have stayed. And I will tell you, when he was on the verge of retiring last year, I know we were kind of concerned about finding a replacement that would be able to move Northeast forward, and he graciously made a decision to stay one more year to continue to work with us and help us, you know, keep the school moving. And I'm thankful for that. I'm also thankful for the fact that, you know, every time I come over to his school, he finds a way to sit down with me and say, hey, let's just pray together, right? And I think a lot of that has kind of helped me to overcome, you know, a lot of just turmoil that we tend to deal with just with the stress of the job, good or bad. He has a great heart, and we're thankful for his service for 6 years, and we're very appreciative of his wife, who had to make a lot of sacrifices. And so I know he's not here. Maybe he'll get to see this on live stream, but we are definitely appreciative of his service because it's the consistency piece that we need. We need people to stay with us beyond 1 or 2 years in order for this school district to prosper. The next update that I wanted to provide was Mr. Reynolds. He's tired over here. I am going to excuse him after we get through this piece, but I wanted to share with the community and the board that we were recently recognized in San Diego for our eviction project, which we call Justice in the Schools, or Justice in Schools. And Mr. Reynolds approached me and said, you know, we know that we have a mobility issue. We need to figure out a way to really do some further research. So he paired up with the eviction project groups, Tara, which I'm not going to murder her last name, but she's doing some really phenomenal work in that area. It led us to then collaborate with our legal department, and Stephen in our legal department. They worked and came up with an ideal to put justice in the schools at Central High School, our highest community with eviction rates. And what it is it allows for us to provide free legal aid, attorneys that will work with our families to try to maintain a level of stability. And because of that work, which is out of the box, it's innovative, we were recognized by the Council for Great City Schools yesterday, where we not only received the plaque, and I know you have the plaque somewhere, it's upstairs, but we also received a $1,000 award that can go to our Ed Foundation for us to continue to do work supporting our students that are homeless. That's pretty much what I've decided where the $1,000 going to for homeless kids. So I wanted to publicly congratulate you and your team and let you know that it really is a big deal. A lot of people were there nationally, and you represent our school district at a high level, and we just wanted to acknowledge you here publicly. Thank you for that work. I know you probably don't want to say anything, but I know they also asked you all to present yesterday. So if you just, a few words of what happened.
So they did ask us to present out in San Diego, and I did not want to drown people with data because, they're all data geeks out there, researchers, curriculum people. So I showed them some of the data. But really what I really talked about was the process and the impact that creative ideas and visionary leadership can have on the entire institution. So as I've said to my superintendent, Dr. Bedell, we've had a lot of good ideas in the past, but a lot of times they're dead on arrival. But we have good leadership in our district, and we have intelligent people that are really trying to do this work for the right reasons. So the award is in my name and my department's name, but this is the definition of a team effort between the legal department, our leadership, outside researchers, and we really did bring the community in to help us do this. So this is the definition of a team effort.
Thank you. And at this time, Mike, you are dismissed. I know you haven't seen your family and the jet lag, and we'll need you back at work tomorrow, so go home and get some rest. So we are ready now to move forward with our video highlight, and it will be a focus on year of engagement and also our 2019 commencement recap.
We are KCPS.
The Department of Engagement is focused on creatively and effectively engaging with our diverse community to support the academic, social, and emotional development of our students. As part of our work, the Office of Partners in Education held several marquee events this year, including our Fall Partnership Breakfast at the Federal Reserve Bank and our Spring Partnership Luncheon, where we awarded the first ever Community Champion of the Year award to Church of the Resurrection. An additional event, Go Red, Go STEM, was held in partnership with the American Heart Association, Truman Medical Center, and other key STEM partners to expose over 100 high school girls to exciting careers in the STEM field. Additionally, this year we established new partnerships, including Wayside Waifs, FDIC, Mid-American Nazarene, Upward Bound, Jewish Vocational Services, Heart of America Shakespeare Association, Missouri Department of Health and Senior Services, Palestine Missionary Baptist Church, St. Luke's College of Health Sciences, School of Economics, Wildwood Education Center, KC Metro Crime Commission, Score One for Health. The Department of Engagement strives to improve student outcomes by building capacity to make school environments welcoming, to strengthen two-way communication, to facilitate and encourage respectful interactions and to increase shared power and responsibility. Goals for next year include ensuring all families have the necessary tools, strategies, and resources to actively support their child's academic performance. To aid in achieving these goals, the department has embarked on a collaboration with Scholastic Inc. Following the latest research trends, Scholastic has built a pipeline, or the Pathway to Effective Family-School Partnerships, which combines ongoing assessment, planning, and professional development and support. The department hopes to create systems that promote student achievement and increase all outcomes. What a year it has been for engagement at KCPS, and we are excited for next year.
Kansas City Public Schools ended the 2018-2019 academic year with pomp and circumstance as we honored our remarkable graduates during high school commencement ceremonies on May 20th and 21st at the University of Missouri, Kansas City's Swinney Auditorium.
My name is Alvaro, and I am proud to say I'm the first Hispanic valedictorian attending Paseo Academy.
In total, about 1,000 students walked across the stage, turned their tassels, and became graduates of KCPS. These scholars earned approximately $9.7 million in grants and scholarships for their post-secondary education. They will be attending 84 different colleges and universities, some of them among the most prestigious in the nation. Many of these graduates are taking well-paying jobs in high-skilled positions like nursing at Truman Medical Center, thanks to our career and technical education programs. This year, for the first time in KCPS history, 34 of our high school graduates earned the Seal of Biliteracy for proving their academic mastery of both English and at least one other language. This is yet another sign of the progress we are making as a school system to ensure that every student is prepared to succeed in a global economy. Kansas City Public Schools is extremely proud of every member of the class of 2019, and we are excited to see what they accomplish moving forward.
That concludes the superintendent's report.
Thank you, Dr. Bedell. The next item of business under policy and governance pertains to the adoption, updating of policies to Board Policy Appendix D. And we have a list of policies that the board is asked to adopt. This is an annual effort that keeps us in compliance with state requirements. The chair recognizes Dr. Bedell to present this proposal.
Thank you, Madam Chair. As you all know, every year, the Missouri State Board Association provides adoption and updating to board policies. In our case, Board Policy Appendix D, policy compliance, and then the following policies: AADG, DGA, IGAB, IGBB, IGBCA, IGBCB, IGBE, IGBH, IGC, IGKE, and Board Policy IL. These policies were provided to the board, which included notes of what MSBA deemed for the reasons to make the recommended changes. At this time, the administration is asking the board to take action on the adoption of these policies.
Thank you, Dr. Bedell. And for those who are curious about that alphabet soup, you can find all of these policies on Assembly, which is the board where you can locate all of the board agenda materials. So we invite you to look at those policies as well. And as Dr. Bedell said, this is part of our compliance that we must fulfill on an annual basis. Are there any questions from the board regarding the adoption of the proposed policy changes? It would now be in order to have a motion to approve the proposed.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to adopt the proposed policy changes. Is there any debate on this motion? Hearing no debate, the question is on adopting the proposed policy changes. This will be a roll call vote.
Ms. Manser,
Yes.
Mr. Abarca,
Yes.
Ms. Cortez,
Yes.
Mr. Hogan,
Yes.
Dr. Jones,
Yes.
Mr. Wasserstrom, Ms. Wolfsey.
Yes.
There's a majority in favor. The proposed policy changes are approved. The next item of business are the regular business items. The board chair recognizes Dr. Bedell.
Thank you, Madam Chair. At this time, we are asking the board to approve and take action on our board policy monitoring schedule. This monitoring schedule was provided to the board at the board retreat and was built in collaboration with the administrative staff to adhere to Board Policy Series 1.0 and 4.0. At this time, we are asking the board to accept or to approve this monitoring schedule for 2019-2020.
Thank you, Dr. Bedell. And just for the community's benefit, the board policy monitoring schedule is a schedule that is set annually and adopted annually that lays out for the board and administration and interested community members a schedule upon which we will review the administration's progress and compliance with policies. This policy monitoring schedule will cover everything from a review of the equity policy to human resources, the district's financial stability, graduation rates, APR, and other items. So again, we invite you to review that schedule and join us for those meetings. It would now be in order to have a motion to adopt the board policy monitoring schedule for the 2019-2020 school year.
So moved.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded to adopt the board policy monitoring schedule for the 1920 school year. Is there any debate on this motion? Seeing no debate, the question is on adopting the board policy monitoring schedule. This will be a roll call vote. Those in favor will respond yes. Those opposed will respond no. The secretary will call the roll.
Ms. Manser,
Yes.
Mr. Abarca,
Yes.
Ms. Cortez,
Yes.
Mr. Hogan,
Yes.
Dr. Jones,
Yes.
Mr. Wasserstrom, Ms. Wolfsey.
Yes.
There is a majority in favor. The board policy monitoring schedule is approved. It would now be in order to, I will turn this back to Dr. Bedell for approval of the FY19 Comprehensive Budget Amendment 2.
Thank you, Madam Chair. This is the closeout of our FY19 budget, and we have Aaron Thompson here to provide a quick update, but we are asking the board to take action on the final amendment for FY19.
Yes. The final amendment, we're asking for approval of a budget of $259,500,994, which is an increase of $714,599, and that increase is all grants. Federal grants of $573,717 and non-federal grants of $140,882, which you can find on attachment 7 on the big book in front of you, which is page 113 to 115, gives you the detail.
Are there any questions on this business item? Seeing no questions, I'd like to turn to my colleague, Treasurer Manny Abarca, to put forth the proposed resolution.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'd like to make a motion to move to accept the recommendation of the Superintendent of Schools to approve the FY 2019 Comprehensive Budget Amendment 2 as presented.
Is there a second?
Second.
It has been moved and seconded to approve the Comprehensive Budget Amendment 2. Is there any discussion on this motion? Seeing no discussion, this will be a roll call vote. Those in favor will respond yes. Those opposed will respond no. The secretary will call the roll.
Ms. Manser,
Yes.
Mr. Abarca,
Yes.
Ms. Cortez,
Yes.
Mr. Hogan,
Yes.
Dr. Jones,
Yes.
Mr. Wasserstrom, Ms. Wolfsey.
Yes.
Thank you. There was a majority in favor for approval of the FY19 Comprehensive Budget Amendment 2. The board chair recognizes Dr. Bedell.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and to our community, we are excited. At this time, we are ready to move forward with the approval of the FY20 comprehensive budget. 2 weeks ago, we conducted a community hearing where we gave the community an opportunity to weigh in on the initiatives that we are going to focus on this school year. We're very excited because our plan is to continue to focus on the academic growth that we've been able to display by putting additional resources right back into the classroom. And so we're excited to be able to continue on that momentum while also continuing to support our early childhood program and in the work that we're doing with career technology and education. We have significant plans to really enhance opportunities for our students to be able to move forward with graduating from this school system with a completer, which will give them an opportunity to be either life and career ready or they're ready to move on with college. And we want to make sure that we're building our school system to give our students those opportunities. This budget helps us accomplish that in addition to the tenets that exist within our strategic plan.
Thank you, Dr. Bedell. The chair recognizes Board Treasurer Abarca to further present this proposal to us as a body.
The administration has prepared and presented a balanced budget for the 2019-2020 fiscal year, totaling $257,237,805 for all funds utilized by the district. A public presentation and a public hearing have been held. No changes have been made to the document since that time. The budget was created prioritizing focus on schools and instructional programs and includes salary increases and continued benefits for employees.
Are there any questions from my colleagues regarding the proposed 2020 comprehensive budget? Seeing no questions, it would be in order to have a motion to approve this proposal.
So moved.
Seconded.
It has been moved and seconded to approve the 2020 comprehensive budget. Is there any debate on this motion? Hearing no debate, the question is on the approval of the 2020 comprehensive budget. This will be a roll call vote. Those in favor will respond yes. Those opposed will respond no. The secretary will call the roll.
Ms. Manser,
Yes.
Mr. Abarca,
Yes.
Ms. Cortez,
Yes.
Mr. Hogan,
Yes.
Dr. Jones,
Yes.
Mr. Wasserstrom, Ms. Wolfsey.
Yes.
There is a majority in favor, and the 2020 comprehensive budget is approved. I want to take a moment and thank you, Dr. Bedell, and your team, and my colleague, Treasurer Manny Abarca. This has been a substantial body of work and an enormous undertaking. It's one of the most important governing documents that we have as a board. It has been a large endeavor to answer the questions and the thoughtful questions of my board colleagues. We have really delved into this over a period of multiple weeks. The administration has been very open to those questions and has worked with us very closely. We understand the importance of this and we take our stewardship very seriously. So thank you very much.
Madam Chair, I will say the same. I know after the election, I believe the election was on April 2nd, right? And so this was, as I was told when I started drinking fire through a water hose for the board. Your first major initiative is to adopt a budget that's this significant. And so we thank you for your patience and also working with us on our end of trying to work with you all, but you also trying to learn the process. And I can tell you the process, it's getting better every single year. But I want to thank you all because that was a major task and it's one of many to come. Thank you.
Thank you. And again, thank you to my colleague, Manny Abarca, and to Linda Quinley. We all recognize and appreciate the substantial work you and your team have provided to us, and we are excited and ready for a new year to begin. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Chair. At this time, the administration is requesting that the board take action on the Boys and Girls Club of Greater Kansas City Summer Partnership MOU. As you know, summer school has started, and as we look at the students that Boys and Girls Club serving, they're serving roughly 500 students this summer. We're asking for the approval of $730,920 to meet our MOU requirements.
Are there any questions on this proposal? Seeing no questions, it would be in order to have a motion to approve the proposal.
So moved. Second.
It is moved and seconded to approve the 2019 Summer School Partnership with the Boys and Girls Club of Greater Kansas City. Is there any debate on the motion? Hearing no debate, the question is on the approval of the Summer School Partnership with Boys and Girls Club of Greater Kansas City. This will be a roll call vote. Those in favor will respond yes. Those opposed will respond no. The secretary will call the roll.
Ms. Manser,
Yes.
Mr. Abarca,
Yes.
Ms. Cortez,
Yes.
Mr. Hogan,
Yes.
Dr. Jones,
Yes.
Mr. Wasserstrom, Ms. Wolfsey.
Yes.
The chair recognizes Ms. Linda Quinley, Chief Financial and Operations Officer, to present the next proposal, CDW, for $318,400.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I told the team during our 4 o'clock meeting, I think I can handle all of these tonight. So this one is the computer discount warehouse. This was an item that we shared with the board a couple weeks ago in the community. This is for the purchase of desktops for building secretaries and central office staff throughout the entire district. It's in the amount of $318,400. And once again, CDW is the computer discount warehouse.
Thank you. Are there any questions on this business item? It would be in order to have a motion to approve the proposal.
Second.
It is moved and seconded to approve the purchase of desktops for building secretaries and central office staff throughout the district with CDW. Is there any debate on the motion? Hearing no debate, the question is on the approval of the purchase of desktops in the amount of $318,400. This will be a roll call vote. Those in favor will respond yes. Those opposed will respond no. The secretary will call the roll.
Ms. Manser,
Yes.
Mr. Abarca,
Yes.
Ms. Cortez,
Yes.
Mr. Hogan,
Yes.
Dr. Jones,
Yes.
Mr. Wasserstrom, Ms. Wolfsey.
Yes.
There's a majority in favor for the purchase of desktops. The chair recognizes Dr. Bedell to address the next business item.
Thank you, Madam Chair. This is our CBIZ contract. It's our district insurance policies. Every year, we have to come back to the board for a renewal on our insurance policies. This is in the amount of $2,718,841. The administration is asking the board to accept and take action on our insurance renewal.
Are there any questions regarding this business item? Seeing no questions, it would be in order to have a motion to approve the proposal.
Second.
It is moved and seconded to approve the agreement for renewal of our insurance coverage through CBiz Insurance Service, Inc. Is there any debate on the motion? Hearing no debate, the question is on approval of renewal of our insurance coverage through CBiz Insurance Services. This will be a roll call vote. Those in favor will respond yes. Those opposed will respond no. The secretary will call the roll.
Ms. Manser,
Yes.
Mr. Abarca,
Yes.
Ms. Cortez,
Yes.
Mr. Hogan,
Yes.
Dr. Jones,
Yes.
Mr. Wasserstrom, Ms. Wolfsey.
Yes.
There's a majority in favor for the renewal of insurance coverage is approved. The chair recognizes Dr. Bedell to introduce the next item.
Thank you, Madam Chair. This is the final business item for the night, and this is for the, and I'm about to murder this, Pharrell gas? All right, well, it's for propane and gasoline tanks. We're asking the board to take action on the purchase of propane and gasoline tanks, pumps, and fuel, which is an estimated 3-year cost of $1,450,000, and it does depend on fuel consumption. This is for our propane buses. As you all know, the board approved the Student Transportation of America contract several months ago, which is a new vendor, and to be responsive to our community needs, we wanted to move towards clean air, and propane is moving us in that direction. And so that's what we're asking the board at this point to take action on, so we can have fuel for our school buses.
Thank you. Are there any questions regarding the approval of the feral gas, propane, and gasoline contract? Mr. Bark.
I just want to applaud Dr. Bedell and the administrative team for taking this effort to curb climate change. Thank you for leading us in that realm.
Thank you. And Ms. Quinley, did you say that we're the first district to go 100% in the state? In the metro area. Only one other in the state. So yeah, I have to commend Ms. Quinley and her team for that. That definitely wasn't me, sir.
Thank you. That's wonderful news. It would now be in order to have a motion to approve this proposal.
So moved. Second.
It has been moved and seconded. This will be a roll call vote. The secretary will please call the roll.
Ms. Manser,
Yes.
Mr. Abarca,
Yes.
Ms. Cortez,
Yes.
Mr. Hogan,
Yes.
Dr. Jones,
Yes.
Mr. Wasserstrom, Ms. Wolfsey.
Yes.
There is a majority in favor for the approval of feral gas, propane, and gasoline tanks. We now come to the point in the agenda where we have to approve the consent items. It would be in order to receive a motion to approve the items on the consent agenda.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. It is moved and seconded to approve the items on the consent agenda. This will be a roll call vote. Those in favor will respond yes. Those opposed will respond no. The secretary will call the roll.
Ms. Manser,
Yes.
Mr. Abarca,
Yes.
Ms. Cortez,
Yes.
Mr. Hogan,
Yes.
Dr. Jones,
Yes.
Mr. Wasserstrom, Ms. Wolfsey.
Yes.
There is a majority in favor, and the items on the consent agenda are approved. This brings us to the conclusion of our agenda for this evening. So if there is no objection, the meeting will be adjourned. Thank you for coming tonight, and we hope to see all of you at Summerfest on Saturday, August 3rd, right here out on the lawn to the north side of our building. We hope you will join us. Thank you.
On this, when we go to the back, we never do salads. We never put salads.
Right,
So
I know that.
I just
Yeah.
wanted to make
No,
sure,
I'm
because we
okay.
got new board members who may not.
Oh, and it says the salaries
says that,
are.
and we never-
Oh, we never.